John Jones receives Trump gift. Received a challenge coin from Donald Trump and shared a video on Instagram.
Oh, I love this, guys. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Some of the most beautiful skies, beautiful views. Speaking about beauty, I wanted to give a shout out to our 45th and 47th President of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump, for giving me this beautiful challenge coin. I've had the privilege to meet some pretty amazing American people, and I've got these coins from some of our country's best, but this one has the top of them all. From the president himself to my mailbox. Great honor. Thank you for this beautiful gift. It will be mounted in the house.
Israel Adesanya wants Sean Strickland rematch. Adesanya admits Strickland beat him fair and square. Says he wants to get revenge and fight him at his best.
Man, I got any fights. So for me now, I'm like, okay, I told Hunter already, I told my coach, it's time. Like, I just knew. So, and I know who, I have a feeling who I want to fight. You'll like this one. I gotta get some get back. Strictly. No! You, no! Get him back. No, you're going after him. Nah, because he beat me fair and square in Sydney, 5-0. Just whooped my ass badly. And again, that was one of the things what made me realize I need to like slow down in my activity. So now I was fighting like 3-4 times a year as a champion. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull back now because I'm older, I'm doing things different. So I just don't want to make excuses because he beat me, but then I just want to show him if you beat me at my best. So this time I'm gonna come at him correct. I love it. And everything he's done since that, like there's some, because I used to get bullied a lot as a kid. Right. So he's an embodiment of that in a sense because he attacked the young me, the inner child. So I just want to protect him and get some get back for him.
Oh man, I love that. I love that mentality.
Michael Bisping answered a few questions related to the UFC. From who he thinks is the best trash talker to who he believes is the best fighter in the UFC.
Who is the best fighter in the UFC right now?
Best fighter in the UFC right now is Makhachev.
Who is the best ever UFC fighter on the mic?
Prime Conor McGregor. That's different from current.
Who's the best opponent that you have faced?
Anderson Silva or George St. Pierre.
What's the best moment of your career?
Best moment of my career was winning the belt, obviously. UFC 199, Inglewood, California.
What is the best KO in UFC history?
Best knockout in UFC history might have been when I got knocked out unconscious at UFC 100. I was on the receiving end. But outside of that, Joaquin Buckley, when he did that jumping spinning kick, I mean, that was ridiculous. I mean, there's too many.
What's the best UFC event you've ever seen?
Probably the first one I ever went to. I'd just been on The Ultimate Fighter. I'd never been to a UFC. I got flown out to UFC 59, the first one I'd ever seen live. I could not believe it. The atmosphere was unbelievable. And I could not believe that I was about to embark on a career doing this. I'd never even seen it before.
The best UFC fighter of all time?
Joe St. Pierre.
Dricus du Plessis out for 6 months due to broken shin bone. Shocking injury news for Dricus du Plessis. Did he really break his shin bone? And will this 6-month hiatus change the entire UFC landscape? Caio Baralho said, I heard from a source close to Dricus' camp that it's a serious injury, possibly a broken shin bone. He'll be out for about 6 months. He also added, this would make it more convenient for the UFC to set up the interim title fight. I'm just waiting for that. This showdown with Khamzat will only happen if the interim belt is at stake. Garry is stepping in on short notice to face Carlos Prates at UFC Kansas City, and he's bringing the heat. Despite taking the fight on short notice, Garry is confident he's ready to absolutely dominate Carlos Prates. The rising star has no fear, especially after Prates recently knocked out Neil Magny in the first round.
When someone calls me and offers a fight, my only option is yes. I'm born to fight. It's what I do. There's no other option in my mind. So for me, I'm excited by short notice fights. I feel like that stuff gets my gears moving and just lets my brain operate. And for me, that's when I'm at my most fun and free. Neil Magny, look, Neil Magny's my son now. I took his manhood into my back pocket. If you watch that fight, he hasn't been the same since. Now, I know the entire world knows the level difference between Neil Magny and me because I obliterate him. 30-24 was the scorecard, I believe. I chose not to finish that, man. I walked through him with ease. And on Saturday night, I'm going to do the exact same thing to Carlos Prates. I don't want short fights. I don't want to go and just knock someone out. I enjoy the mental warfare of beating someone up for 20 minutes. If this was my choice and I could ride it out perfectly, I'd want to dog walk the guy for 24 minutes and finish him in the last minute. That's the type of person I am. I don't want someone ever having an excuse of, oh, it was just a lucky kick. What happened about the 24 minutes prior to then? That's my attitude. I love those fights. I love, when you look at, I'll give you the example. When you look at a fight like Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje, that's the type of fight I like. That's a fight. You walk out and you just knock someone out. Great, cool, good job. But I want to have fun. Like, I want to go out there and prove that whoever I step in that octagon with, I'm levels above. And Saturday night, it's a case of how long can he last.
Israel Adesanya and Sean O'Malley are forming an unexpected bond, and it's all happening behind closed doors. The former UFC champions recently came together for a training session, with Adesanya paying a visit to O'Malley's camp. The two fighters have clearly become close friends.
In 10 seconds, we're gonna go a max hold on your inhale. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Full inhale and hold.
The tension is rising between two light heavyweight contenders as Magomed Ankalaev hits back at Khalil Rountree's recent comments. Rountree, after watching Ankalaev's fight with Alex Pereira, claimed that the Alex he faced wasn't the same fighter that faced Ankalaev, calling it hard to watch. Watching that fight was tough for me, really tough. Analyzing it from my seat was hard, especially since I was right there in the front row. The Alex who walked out that night was not the same as the one who fought me. My experience of watching that fight was filled with frustration. I was a bit confused because I expected the same guy who faced me to step in and perform the same way. I just wanted to see what it was like from the outside. Responding on X, Ankalaev didn't hold back. Khalil bum tree. It was not first row like he said. He was the third row. Ilia posted, "The camp has begun," on X, signaling fight prep. Reports suggest he will fight for the lightweight title at UFC 317. It may be undisputed or vacant, depending on whether Islam Makhachev moves up to welterweight. If Islam vacates, Topuria may face Charles Oliveira for the belt. UFC welterweight contender Belal Muhammad has officially shut down all rumors of a potential fight with lightweight king Islam Makhachev. And the reason? Loyalty. Belal fired off a list of more suitable opponents for Islam, including Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, Paddy Pimblett, and Arman Tsarukyan, while also casting doubt on Ilia Topuria's place in the title picture.
Like I said, I think their team, they've done so much for me. They helped me so much that it wouldn't be worth it for me to fight those guys. There's just way too much respect and loyalty on my end. But I think people are just like wondering and they're just hoping for him to fight. They're looking for any excuses for him, right? Like there's guys right now in that division that make sense. Like Justin Gaethje makes sense. He's coming off a big win. He's 3-1 in his last 4 fights. People are going to tune into Justin Gaethje. He hasn't fought Justin Gaethje yet. You got Paddy Pimblett, who just came off a huge finish of Michael Chandler. Like, he has a big name. That's another fight that makes sense. You got Charles Oliveira waiting for a rematch, Arman waiting for a rematch. There's plenty of guys. I think that Ilia definitely needs to fight somebody before he gets that title shot, because it's not really worth it for Islam to fight another 45er or give another 45er a chance, because people are, no matter what they do, people are going to hate on Islam, hate on Team Habib, no matter what happens. So for him, it's like, you guys are going to give me the respect that I deserve anyway if I beat him, so let him get a win first, and then it'll be worth it for me.
The UFC Kansas City showdown between Ian Garry and Carlos Prates just got even more hype. Michael Bisping is siding with the underdog. Paul Felder acknowledged the danger, calling it Prates' toughest test yet. But Bisping doubled down, saying that Ian Garry's strategy of dancing around like he did versus Jeff Neal might not work this time. During a preview with Paul Felder, the former middleweight champ didn't hold back.
This is a big step up for Carlos Prates, who's been nothing but exciting, who's been devastating in there. But this is a guy who's faced the elite, who's been in the UFC for a while, who's kind of gotten over any hurdles other than pretty much Shavkat. And again, I think he impressed people even in that loss with his performance there. So I do think that this is by far the biggest challenge that Prates is going to have thus far, and the toughest fight, no doubt about it.
Yes, I agree. I do agree with that. I can make a prediction though. And I think Prates walks away with it, to be honest. I think Prates gets it done. I think he gets another stoppage.
You think he finishes him?
Well, the thing is with Ian Garry,
if he engages him, right? Do you think he's going to engage him like that?
I don't think he's going to engage. No, I think he's going to be smart. And he's going to fight it or approach it like he did with Jeff Neal. You know, he'll use his footwork, he'll use his reach, he'll dance around, he'll frustrate the audience because they want to see blood, they want to see violence, and I think Ian's going to try and be smart. But I think Carlos Prates, I mean, they've got one opponent in common, I think, Neil Magny.
Neil Magny, yep.
Ian beat him by decision.
How that went. Yeah.
Carlos knocked him out in the first round. MMA math doesn't stack up, but most people are getting finished by Carlos Prates, you know, and I think he'll catch him. I think throughout 25 minutes, I think there'll be a situation where he cuts off the cage, backs him up, and I think he'll catch him. Hey, I might be wrong. If Ian Garry wins, I've got it by a decision. It's not a knock on Ian Garry. It's not a knock on Ian Garry. I think he's a tremendously talented fighter, but I'm just very, very high on Carlos Prates.
That's it for today, fight fans. Will Ian Garry prove he's elite, or will Carlos Prates steal the spotlight with another highlight KO? Let us know who you're riding with. Don't forget to like, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe. See you in the next one.